these Chens, maybe these Lycans, these just fight and go in high ground, and Liquid, they tend to do the same. They want these Chens, maybe these Lycans, these Brood, like the push kind of cheese hero. So they kind of have the same style in a sense, but Liquid has just the more reliable kind of late game. So I'm expecting Gambit to put out a really aggressive kind of lineup to start with.
We saw a little bit of cheese, Ted, during the group stages. Expecting any today?
Of course.
A little bit of techies?
Whatever it takes to win. No, I don't think
Not at all. Never.
I think we might see some
meepo?
I think we might see some pudge, because I actually think some of the teams have been quite enjoying him. And I was talking to a few people about why. It's the stun is just very good, and it's not a consistent pick, but we've seen it 2 or 3 games, I think.
Yeah.
So could see some pudge.
And it has been effective in its game. It's not like it's a
I think each
pick.
No, I did see it win. Definitely saw it win. But I also saw it lose.
Okay. What's impressed you most about these 2 teams through the group stages of what you've seen?
Well, neither of them sort of dominated, but they're still here. So I think the fact that Liquid didn't actually lose a series is pretty impressive. I mean, Gambit didn't. They beat the teams they needed to beat, but what they need to do is step up. Like, you can't just lose 2-0 to everyone. I thought they'd take a game off someone. It was close, but they just didn't quite do it. But equally, Liquid couldn't close out any of their series, so both teams need to find a little bit more to push on.
Well, the draft is on.
Yeah.
It has begun.
Again, Liquid with first pick. Gambit, like Puppy said yesterday, the Chen IO bans, they have to be done pretty much. They're just kind of broken heroes in a sense.
That's what he said yesterday, didn't he? He said they were broken.
They teleport and they heal.
Yeah.
2 stupid things in Dota. And again, Gambit banning Earthshaker as well.
Darkseer has been like numero uno pick for a lot of teams as well. He's been banned, right?
It just allows, like, the Liquid bans right now, it just allows Gambit. These are their comfort heroes, right? The Wraith King, the Darkseer, these are kind of the run at you.
Yeah.
They can take towers with Wraith King. The Darkseer just enables pretty much anyone. The Surge is broken, in my opinion. Like, you get on one guy, he gets Surge, and now he's disappeared. Where's he gone? You buy phase boots, and then boom.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Earth Spirit.
Earth Spirit, pretty standard opening for Liquid, I think. They
picked it a couple of times so far. It's one of their kind of reliable openings, you know, GH playing it. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if Gambit go for like a Warlock +1 right now. Just
Warlock's been in a lot of games so far. Yeah.
They also, it allows them to have their team fight. It gives them the solid lane. You can then go 2-1-2. You're not pressured into doing anything too special against Liquid, which then means you've got a greater chance of playing into the mid game.
Yeah.
With nothing too fragile.
I think it was interesting as well what Kyle and Blitz were saying is that because of the changes to the way Tome works, you can pick these heroes that are powerful like Bane at level 6.
Sure.
And you get their Lone Druid pick.
I see a huge amount of Bane during the group stages, though.
No, I haven't seen him much at all.
What's the thought behind that, do you think, the Gambit?
So Lone Druid, because obviously they knew they're picking the Lone Druid.
Yeah.
Lone Druid, you can always put it by itself in the lane, and it's hard to bully him out. The Bane as well is a really good support at securing a lane. So if the Druid does need help, they're going to be like unkillable at this point.
Which would suggest to me that Gambit are thinking they need to win their lanes.
Yes, exactly.
Not go equal,
no.
Dominate.
Yeah, and also Liquid, they are also a Lone Druid team. So.
And also a lane dominating team.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of tri-lane into tri-lane games as well, like a surprising number. That's why it's been so fighty.
Yeah, again, the troll pick, it's just an open pick. They can easily put it onto mid lane or carry. There's nothing being shown right now from Liquid. Where Gambit, on the other hand, they've already shown that the Druid will be played by Dahuk, and it's going to be easier for Liquid to understand what Gambit's doing. But again, that's one of the weaknesses of Gambit, is all their drafts in the last 20 games all has the same exact kind of win condition. It's fight you, then we're going to take the objective. They never deviate from this plan. And again, they've shown it in these opening 2 picks.
Do you think they need a plan B? Like, do you think teams shouldn't always just rely? Or do you think it's fine? It's a decent strat. You just got to perfect it.
It just depends on the heroes they have. But yes, there should be like alternate styles. But right now, we'll see if it works. But
because like if they lose game 1, they just go running and do the same thing again. It does seem a bit. They need some variance there.
I'm expecting Gambit to ban out maybe an Arc Warden or another team fight, just because they've already banned out the Brewmaster, and that pretty much shows we want to be able to go to your tower and not fear about this kind of great initiation. And also the Arc Warden, it just delays the game. And I feel like this is the one hero that Gambit will suffer most against, just because obviously it's one of the best high ground defenders. Another hero that Gambit could potentially pick for offlane as well is Night Stalker. It just allows them to have this insane tempo control, and especially because Druid's a really hard hero to kill, it will then enable the Night Stalker to have a better lane. Especially with the Bane pick as well, it's going to be hard to bully this Night Stalker.
Do you think that they're thinking aggro try? Leave the lone Druid alone, 3 top. Because Bane, you can't really trade with him. He's all right in an aggro try.
How you see it more is it could be a Bane and like, for example, a Night Stalker in a dual lane, and then you have the immersion connecting between top and mid, for example, and he can just go wherever. It won't be like a static tri lane.
Warlock Man into a Winter Wyvern pick.
This is just securing that, like, if the game does get a bit like worrisome, they now do have this kind of like backup plan of being able to push out lanes. They do have a big issue right now, especially with the Bane, and then Druid without items, they can't actually push any lanes out, and that's one of the weaknesses of Bane, so Wyvern does secure that. And also it's a very good counter to Troll, of course, because of the Cold Embrace.
5 seconds remaining.
Smiles amongst the Gambit camp right now,
Well, this
waiting for this third pick from the...
You can already see from like the pre-interview, especially coming into like this type of series, both teams have sat there and really thought about what's happening.
Yeah.
And when you see these picks occur, and you're like, ooh, our plan's happening. This could be our time. This is exactly what's happening.
Okay, Crystal Maiden,
Maiden.
back to a bit of a staple Liquid.
Getting a cheer from the crowd there. People big fans of Crystal Maiden.
Well, it's not really been picked at all for
are you
months.
not?
No, she's been in a ton of games in the group stage.
Yeah, before that though, she was non-existent.
Yeah.
This is her time.
She's alright.
She's back.
She's alright.
10 seconds remaining. 5
So,
seconds.
a call from
remaining.
Gambit next.
I feel like Gambit right now might just pick like a Shadow Fiend and not care about what Liquid picks.
Really?
And then leave their last pick for the active offlaner, which will allow them to close out the game. Because again, Gambit doesn't really... They know what their player style is. They know exactly what they do. They don't really care about Liquid's heroes at this point. Like, now they've already shown these, so I think that could be one of the heroes they go for right now. Especially when Liquid hasn't shown much. They've shown their support duo, but you don't know where the Troll is. If you pick your offlaner right now, he could really easily be punished. And you don't want to leave too many holes in your draft where Liquid, right now, they could... In this slot right now, there's Brood, there's Arc Warden, there's Lycan. There's even like a Meepo as well you can pick in certain situations. Like, Gambit has to be really careful right now that whatever hero they pick doesn't like allow Liquid to just open up this next kind of punishing hero.
Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Sandkin.
So they
It
did...
has an S in it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Why does it have to have an S in it?
Shadow Fiend.
Oh, I see. So you're
Keep up there.
you're claiming
Yeah.
Sand King is close to what you were claiming when you said it was going to be SF
Yeah.
because there's an S in Sand King.
Yeah, they can both buy Greaves. They can both push out a lane.
This is okay.
They're
Sure.
both played by Sumail. Wait, what?
10 seconds remaining.
That doesn't work for me.
No, it doesn't
Sand
work for
King-
me, sorry.
Sand King mid is scary, by the way.
Really?
Yep, it is. I'm telling you.
Is it like Earth Spirit?
No, not at all. Sand King mid actually could be a thing.
Hey, Earth Spirit mid was a thing in the group stage. What are you on about?
Yeah. How many times did
Thompson. Thompson played it? Yeah, I don't know who else. There was only... So it does leave them with
Radiant team.
their final 4 pick. And...
Omni?
Ooh. Liquid going for the Omni. We saw this a few times again during the group stage. It's very effective. Evil Geniuses played it exceptionally.
I'm just worried Liquid doesn't have a lot of team fight. Gambit has the curse, they've got the stun,
Yeah.
Gambit has a lot of smaller things to take into the fight. In Liquid right now, all they have is this troll that's going to be like a raid boss, right? He's going to run in, he's going to have the Heavenly Grace on him,
Have
and
the Earth Spirit.
sure, but to the degree of Gambit, it's one stun, it's not enough,
Yeah.
I don't think. So I think
Not enough
Liquid
to shut them all down, is it?
What do you think Gambit need here? Something that can fight the troll, or
Well, from the Sand King pick, I'm kind of thinking they might put the Druid mid. Or the reason for, because obviously the last pick, right? So they could potentially put the Druid mid, put the Sand King at side lane, and still pick another like active core. So
could
like,
they take something like Sven? We've seen a lot of Sven in the group stage. He is back in a big way.
I just don't think it works too much because it's a bit greedy in terms of the Druid and the Sven. The synergy doesn't really look
Is that
good.
an OD back?
It is,
By
yeah.
Gambit, even though it could have a troll.
they've got a plan here.
Well, they must have.
I don't know yet.
10 seconds remaining.
I just feel like Liquid need to pick something right now that either complements their kind of enable or just get mass team fight in this last pick. But
If you listen to the drafting music, there's a cowbell that I now can't stop hearing. You hear that?
yeah, it's good.
It's been there all this time.
I know, I just noticed it.
But it's amplified here. It's the good
Clarity of the
cowbell.
audio is so good. Ted has now started hearing new instruments. Right, one more pick each and a ban for Liquid left. What do they want to get rid of here, Rob? Because Gambit have kind of not. They've left this very open. haven't they?
Yeah, that's the issue. The way that Gambit's drafted, they can put the Druid in 2 lanes, the Sand King can be technically in all 3, so they've really utilised the fact that they have last pick pretty well. And I think Liquid, they've reacted to Gambit's draft with the Omni Knight pick, which, sure, it's fine, it does allow for you to have this guy who goes in, but I just feel right now Liquid's draft does look a little bit disjointed, where if they don't get the good rotations and support early, the game could get quite scary. Like, how are you pushing out these lanes? When this Druid comes to your tower, because he's probably going to go for the Mask of Madness build into like a Radiance, and he's chunking down your tower, how are they pushing out the lanes?
Yeah.
They've got a roll, a Nova, so...
Raise a ban into a ledge.
Let's rack. Okay. And now the Omni Knight pick now has a bit more value.
Yeah.
Because Leshrac, naturally, when you pick it, it needs items to have a game.
What this was the EG duo.
Yeah,
it was
EG
the-
did
which
the
was
exact
really
same
good.
duo.
You get the exact same line of thinking I'm having right now. It's like, you have this guy who doesn't need as many items now, can run in, he can push up lanes, but I'm still worried. Like, if Gambit right now, if they do, for example, pick this like Shadow Fiend type hero and allows them to have this Death Ball, I'm worried that Liquid might not be able to answer it in the early window. But we already know, like, Gambit, they win games in the first 20-25 minutes when they're ahead. Liquid, they're a team that they're going to play really well 30 minutes plus. They're going to be the more disciplined team. So I feel like Gambit, they should try and utilize their strengths and pick one of these earlier heroes.
So they need something here that's going to force them to play fast.
Yep, I just think the Shadow Fiend's so good.
The Shadow thing?
Yep, I'm all in.
Okay.
Let me get one good prediction on this, please. Just one. Come on.
You were on fire during the group stage. What are you on about? Queen of Pain.
Come on. I don't want that. Oh,
Redraft.
yeah, can we go again? Remake?
You were close.
Queen of Pain finalises.
She has wings.
draft. She does
SF
that. I mean,
kinda has
yeah.
Demonic?
demonic stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. There's a guy who should have been here last year.
Boo. Yeah, boo this man.
Yeah,
Get him out!
Security.
Can he just tear it in half?
Find that man. Yeah, if he was here last year, he probably had a good time. There was plenty of DK last year, not so much this year. In fact, none during the group stages. And our draft is complete. Ted, what do you make of that?
I mean, the Leshrac with Omni, I think we saw yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, super, super strong. I fancy Team Liquid just because they're Team Liquid. I think you've got GH Spirit, you've got Miracle and Lesh with Omni. It's a decent lineup.
Okay, good stuff. So getting into our first game of the day, ladies and gentlemen, at ESL One Birmingham.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your opening match here at ESL One Birmingham. I am loving seeing all of these lovely smiling faces already filling out the venue. I have to say, Blitz, whenever people ask me about events and stuff, I always say this is one of the ones that people gotta go to because it's so hype. And what a better way to open up this entire tournament here with Gambit facing up against Liquid in an elimination match, and a very clear underdog team in Gambit facing up against the TI7 champs. Blitz, what are your thoughts?
I think these are two very aggressive teams. You have Gambit, who just sort of all in, 30-minute, they're going to run at you, fight nonstop. You have a Liquid team that is more than willing to oblige those 4v5 fights while Miracle just farms it up. It's going to be a very interesting style because for Gambit, it's very clear cut. Try to win those 4v5s, take as much of the map as possible, as quick as you can. And for Liquid, it's about holding on, delaying things a little bit.
Well, apparently we're going to be starting what should be a very aggressive match in a very passive way. Short pause to start things off, and I'm sure the players will entertain themselves with their chat wheels. They always do. What do you think about the draft, though? We had just a little bit of twists and turns. Gambit, like a full aggressive lineup. They have the Lone Druid, but all the 4 other heroes there, hyper aggressive. You know, just want to be able to fight as much as possible in the first 25 minutes. Meanwhile, Liquid, I would say the little twist they took was that Omni Knight pick.
Yeah, we saw a similar-ish lineup that I think it was EG ran against Gambit, actually.
Yeah.
Or it was EG versus Secret. That's what it was.
I do remember
it was a game where Sumail was Leshrac and S4 was Omni, and they just sort of ran non-stop at them. That was the one where they also had a Chen, though. And they did the Chen teleport onto the Lesh to bring the fight back around. Thanks, Matu.
This time around, we're not going to have that same kind of mobility, but instead we're going to replace it with this Crystal Main, which we were talking about it, how this Crystal Main was being picked up early by like OG. They didn't really have the same kind of success with it. Liquid adopted it towards the end of the group stage against OG. What do you think about the hero? Is it coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it fits Kuro's playstyle, because you have a hero that has like an offensive toolkit. It's very easy to gank with. I feel like all those 5 positions that like to move around will like heroes like her. It's something that I could also see somebody, for example, like Solo play, because she has a very offensive toolkit, not a lot of defense, because these guys just don't really like playing saves.
No. Of the top tier captains, feels like a lot of the 5s just like to be able to run around and go for kills. I guess the one really big exception would be Fly. He's always seemingly playing the defensive support. He's happy in that role, but
even he's changing a little bit, and I think it's because of this meta.
Yeah.
A lot of these 5-position heroes that we didn't see before that you would consider greedier or very teamfight based, they become so much better with the buff of the tome. That's why I think, for example, we saw a lot of AA in the group stage, because AA for me feels like an anti-carry and one of the best at that. The only downside of him is that usually by the time you hit level 6, it's like 13, 14 minutes in, and the hero just doesn't feel very good at that point.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because what a change it is for Crystal Main over like several patches now. It used to be that the ultimate was kind of viewed as like something you're not even sure if you're going to get it at level 6, how useful is it really going to be. But now, with the extra armor that you're getting out of it, it actually becomes like this really neat team fight / survivability tool.
And you pop BKB and you're pretty much invincible.
Yeah, and that is another thing, right? Is these 5 positions are getting greedier in their items. Wards costing less, I suppose, helps a bit.
Wards cost less. You now, as a 5, always get a tome. And for CM, I think the level 15 is so good, the 150 GPM. And it makes you just able to scale. Like, we see Secret experiment with it, but Yapzor actually plays it most of the time as the 4-position CM.
I suppose that's probably going to be an important thing going into the future, is that like both your 4 and 5, like the GPM talents are always going to be hyper value if you have the experience available from all these tomes. The first bounty runes are going to break out here, and it looks like Gambit thought about going for it. An Earth Spirit Troll, though, that is a lot of slow, a lot of potential damage, so we're just going to split it up 2 for 2 here. The lanes, as they break down, looks like we're swapping things up. And Sand King is headed up to the top lane. What lanes do Gambit want here?
I think you ideally want your Lone Druid tri-lane to probably be against the Omni.
Okay.
I think, and to have your Sand King versus the Troll.
Bully that Omni now as much as possible. I could see how Sand King wouldn't really win that 1v1 necessarily.
Yeah.
You see, we kept on saying like, oh, Sand King should be fine in this Mars matchup or this other matchup, and he just never was.
And we actually have Miracle playing the Leshrac. Oftentimes we see the Troll being played by Matema Man instead, as Miracle off to a pretty good start, it looks like.
Chasing away Immersion. Flies over to the trees. So GH is going to be playing in the safe lane to start things off, just trying to zone everybody back, get that Troll that nice little lead where he gets level 2, level 3. Fortunately, Afterlife made the smart read here, tries to go behind the creep wave and pull it out. Unfortunately, that Sandstorm makes it so the creeps do kind of de-aggro. Hopefully, for Gambit's sake, though, the creep wave should just kind of return. It'll push in. They'll finally find their experience. Mind Control's having similar troubles here in the off lane against the Bane Lone Druid. Don't really have the best kill opportunities, but they do just they can run at you non-stop and just constantly harass you.
I think the reason why you take the Queen of Pain and this kind of lineup is because you have two supports that without their ultis, I think it's really hard for them to make plays. They're very static in a way. They're very good for this particular game because of the troll interaction. Like you have two different ways to stop troll with your ultis, and then you've got
Golden Brace. Well, yeah.
I think it's a very good Wyvern game, but it does mean that the rest of your lineup, I think, has to be sped up. Because you just can't match the tempo of heroes like Crystal Maiden plus Earth Spirit otherwise. Like they're just going to run at you and take fights non-stop, especially with Lesh as a core. Like Lesh is, you know, two really cheap items run at you.
Yeah. I mean, if you take the cores entirely out of the equation, like Winter Wyvern, Bane, that is not a 4-5 duo that can do anything. Meanwhile, you've got Crystal Maiden plus Earth Spirit running around.
Is the chat also trying to...
Yes. We heard it at NDL, and I had no doubt whatsoever that we're going to be here at Birmingham with one of the most active crowds that I've ever been a part of in esports.
Oh, I might be biased, but I think it's my favorite crowd. Because it reminds me of like an actual sporting event.
Yeah.
In a way.
The chance. Double damage rune for FNG, Mind Control, just level 2 here.
I think you're going to have a very passive laning phase overall until maybe the Earth Spirit, once he has like levels of silence, he can come into mid and actually get a kill on Aphro. But I think it's unlikely to get a kill otherwise.
Yeah.
Like Bane, it's very obvious when Bane moves out of his bottom lane, which is why Miracle played so far back. Like they don't have very fast heroes is the problem on the side of Gambit. Plus, I don't think Sand King plus Wyvern should be getting any kills. So if anybody's going to get first blood, I feel like it should be Liquid. But I think the mid-game timing should go in favor of Gambit. Or that's the way they want it to go anyways. Like they have a much more active offlaner.
Yeah. So can you give me some theories on why we're seeing Matumba Man here on the troll? Is it a playstyle thing? Do they want the troll to be more active than before? Do they feel like Miracle is going to do better in the 1v1 mid matchup?
I mean, I think so. I would have normally said for the most part, Miracle plays the splitty heroes, or the ones that cut waves, have very fast creep playing abilities.
Yep. Roll in, follow up, split Earth, not gonna land. Aphro actually managed to blink away before that happens. Meanwhile, Immersion does manage to get off that slow onto Matumba Man, so should be okay unless Matumba Man thinks he can get that last range action, and he does. He reads it perfectly.
You see what he did?
Flips the Winter Wyvern. Yeah, he went melee for him, right?
Yeah, he went melee so that he could have that extra move speed and just barely gets in range of it. Otherwise, I mean, he clips him at the very end there. Yeah. And we did see the gank attempt from the Earth Spirit like predicted. And it is Liquid who, in fact, with their lineup, gets their blood. Because I just don't think it's possible right now for Gambit to get any kills.
Yeah, it's not until, like, for Gambit's side, it's when the clock finally comes online with, like, level 7. She starts moving around the map.
That's why I think the SF pick was... It was okay, because then you can just, like, 5-man with your SF.
Yeah.
But it puts you in a weird position where you know you're just not going to have pressure on the map.
Yeah, every single one of your heroes kind of wants to sit in lane.
Yeah, it means that Afterlife sort of has to, like, all in, just go around the map without a Blink Dagger, fighting non-stop. Whereas I think this lineup, it's more about FNG getting levels.
Oh, managed to get the ensnare there on Immersion. Big time trouble, gets off the last Splinter Blast before he goes down. Another kill, this one for Kuro.
And it really helps that Matumba Man got the first blood because he already has phase boots.
That just makes this troll a killer in lane now. They just continue to try and make Afterlife's life hell as possible. And I guess there's no point in like trying to pressure a lone druid lane.
No, there's none.
Pretty much impossible.
It's also because you have Omni on your team. And Omni Knight is not ideal for these kinds of ganks as...
They're really going for it here with the Cosmic Finale. He's trying to kill some of these creeps to get the damage out, and he's doing a lot to GH. GH gets a bit low. Afterlife doesn't want to get too far forward. His entry's going to be blown here. The roll nails him. Afterlife pops at the Fairy Fire here. Burrow Strike's going to be coming up in a second. Gets through, but the boulder cuts down some of the trees and will be able to find the kill. That is 3-0 now to the favor of Team Liquid.
And a pretty significant kill too, because this Earth Spirit was very underleveled. And that's a level 4 Sand King. Getting any sort of pressure at this point is ideal. And meanwhile, you see the Bane at bottom. This is probably one of the few lanes where he doesn't trade all that efficiently. Normally, Brain Sap makes it so that no one can really contest you in lane. but Omni doesn't really care. His CS isn't going to be ideal playing against essentially 3 heroes. I count the Bear as one in the early game.
Yeah.
But it does mean that he can just sort of sit there and chill. And he can always just do that to himself. Heavenly Grace, reset things. It means that the pressure has to come elsewhere. And if you're Gambit, even though you do have a very static mid-game sort of lineup, you have to just concede that in the laning phase you're not going to get any kills.
That strong dispel is definitely gonna come in handy this game, right? Not just the Lone Druid Snare, but you're looking at like all of Bane's mechanics. You've got the Shadow Strike from the Quap in there as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I could see a situation where the Sand King smokes with Wyvern and they move something like the Bane up to top and they go for a kill on this Leshrac.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if there's anyone on the map they can kill, it's Lesh.
Miracle is currently spending his time
That's why I
in between jungle and lane.
He went the build that he did. Bracer, Wand, and then he still has his Fairy Fire. It's so he just protects himself from all that burst.
Yeah, very stat heavy. Not even boots yet. 1-2-1 build for Mind Control. Do you think this Heavenly Grace is this just 2 levels for in lane for the regen?
Yeah.
Or do you think he's actually going to max it out?
Nope. In mid.
Miracle, the Splinter Blast brings him a little low. He's trying to land his Split Earth, but the Sonic Wave comes out.
He had to have known being low like that was just going to get him killed. I don't even think Wyvern needed to be there. Quap just had DD.
Yeah.
Once he walked up on the high ground to get that CS, he sort of just put himself into an impossible situation.
Especially without the boots. Once he's hit by Shadow Strike, like, you're not making it back.
The Wyvern hits him like twice, but realistically, like, there was such a huge margin for the Queen of Pain.
Yeah.
Like, he could have thrown that ulti 2 seconds earlier and it would have made no difference.
That means Miracle now behind the Queen of Pain in net worth. Looks like Sand King is doing a little bit better than the Omni Knight when it comes to farm. Troll and Lone Druid are pretty much neck and neck. So overall, this laning phase is quite even despite the kill difference.
Is under attack.
Yeah, and I'd say part of that comes down to the fact that this Omni, even though he's getting levels, he's just not able to actually like walk up in CS. Because the Sand King can just sit in the Sandstorm.
Yeah.
And eventually he will get something.
He's better at cutting creep waves too.
Yeah, just pure kills, I think it's a little bit difficult as
Nice spear as he gets the ensnare. And then Dota did another ensnare. I think he did the level up trick right there. Now it's going to be FNG who's going to be caught by the rotation of Miracle. But still, that's an exchange that Gambit will happily take. They didn't have to rotate their mid out of lane. Apo is yet to leave his mid lane, surprisingly, and he's level 8. So when he finally does move to one of these side lanes, he will hit hard, and they're going to go for the kill onto Kuro here. Turns around, Frostbite. They do have the TP in from GH, trying to protect Kuro, or maybe even kill him if he got a little bit too low. He could go for the deny off that Shadow Strike.
Oh no, he's just going to go for a TP out.
Afterlife. Not wanting to blow the Sandstorm until the next creep wave approaches. He's going to be going for a Veil build since he does have a pretty heavy magic damage core in the Queen of Pain.
Nice Helm of Iron Will to start too. Just the high physical damage from the Troll. It's going to pay off quite nicely.
That's a classic Lone Druid play right there. It's going to be hard to secure all of those bounty runes, and Gambit do manage to grab 3 just because the Bear is able to kind of really run to the other side and pick up one of them.
You know what's interesting though about both lineups is they're both very scrappy sort of lineups.
Not like full team fight, but like the smaller engagements.
Yeah, they're gonna hit and run a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you're Liquid because you have an Omni Knight, you want to make the fights as long as possible where your Omni's just spamming out heals. You're sitting behind your Troll, he pops his ulti, you're able to reset in and out very often. Whereas it's sort of the same with Gambit and their Lone Druid going Radiance. It's bottom lane.
On Fiend's Grip here, onto the Omni Knight, the Fear afterwards, but he does have the Purification level 3 now. Sleep immediately afterwards. They're going to just try and dive him underneath the tower here. And Liquid is not TPing because they're going to play on the mid right now, and they will be able to get... oh, it's actually Kuro who dies there. Mind Control managed to get away at bottom.
Dire structures are fortified.
Looks like a Liquid dive into the mid lane fails to kill the Queen of Pain and actually gets Kuro killed instead.
And you said that bottom lane. You used up your root luck.
Yeah, they really did. Was that a 1-2-2 build for our Bane?
Dire's bottom tower.
The 1 value level of Enfeeble, 2 levels is 90%, right?
Radiant's middle tower is under
Tower goes down so quick to the bear.
That is the dangerous part of Lone Druid, right? Is just you leave him alone for a little bit too long. Buildings are going to start dropping, and that's where part of this net worth exchange changes up. Gambit now has a slight lead.
I could see them smoking and taking mid tower too once they hit grip, and bringing the Lone Druid along as well.
Yeah.
I think you can speed up the pace of this game. Like, we wanted a very aggressive mid game from Gambit, and not even really a smoke. It looks like they're just headed there past. I do think you should try to go all in and just take out as many outer towers as you can before the 20-minute mark. Then you'll open yourself up to opportunities like the Roshan. And what you want to do is you want to hem Liquid in. You want to make it very hard for this Leshrac to just farm out this side, or the Troll to just farm out Ancients. Like, you have to start making the map smaller and smaller.
Okay, so your movement I've seen a lot, which is the safe laner smokes up and just runs straight to mid. Why are we doing that as opposed to what we used to do, which is the safe laner TPs up to the off lane, we just run a safe lane tower, and then at some point you use that movement to wrap into mid?
Because I think it's different once you take your own safe lane tower. Like, I think once you take your own safe lane tower, you sort of just like artificially sped up the game. They're actually making their move onto top of it.
With the epicenter and Beam Script, they're going to try and chain stun him, and it'll be pretty easy too. Matama Man falls here in top. Gambit doing quite nicely for themselves as we start leaving this laning phase, and
yeah, now that they have
start coming up.
Now that they have ultis on their supports, they can make plays. Before that point, it was really difficult because you don't actually have like a stun on any of your supports.
Yeah.
But now that you have Bean's Grip, I mean, he's making very good use of it. Mid lane, both supports from Liquid are here because I think they're anticipating the movement because the Lone Druid's gone missing for so long as Mind Control takes some damage. This is level 4 Sandstorm. He's got to be careful. Is Miracle trying to come in? Mind Control going to purge that off. The haste is going to be popped by Miracle, and they're going to split targets here.
Afterlife is going to be able to burrow strike in the trees. He's going to be okay, but a hasted Miracle will easily run down FNG and beat this tower. In fact, he's going to give a lot of damage onto that tower, but speaking of pushing towers, the Hawk is already here in the mid lane.
Oh, they're going to make the move.
Roll in, follow up. No silence, actually. A little bit surprising there. I thought GH, you should have silenced, right? I'm not sure if they really would have killed the Queen of Pain, but she would have stood underneath that freezing field a bit longer at least.
Yeah, you notice though, people are taking the enemy safe lane towers now too. Just because I think it's one of those unexpected plays more than anything. Like, you saw both supports from both teams for a while just hanging around mid, because I think that's what you anticipate. But eventually the Hawk did come out of the jungle. So they're going to make another move, potentially on the top.
Afterlife does have a burrow strike up, and just get into the trees, really nicely done. On the edges there, he is currently under the sentry, doesn't know it though.
Now he does, he knows he's still being chased out as the Yule Scepter completed, and this mid tower is being taken by the Hawk, and this is my favorite part about having Lone Druid on your team. You can do that, and it's not a heavy commitment.
Yeah.
You can just send your Baron, create space for your team, and now I anticipate him making the movement towards top.
Playing for the bounty room, Team Liquid with the Winter's Curse won't be able to chase down FNG right away. FNG actually got that bounty rune too, so that was really well done for Gambit. If you say you bring up the Lone Druid, you always talk about how Team Liquid prioritized the mid tower, both defending and trying to take the opponents. They didn't do that pretty much at all there with the Lone Druid plays. It's just because it's too tough.
Yeah, I don't think you can fight 5-on-5 right now, but you can take 4-on-5s at times.
Nice.
Look at this again.
Setup. Miracle's just entirely separated from his team here, not expecting the setup there.
Do they even have vision up here? No. Liquid is playing blind, and yeah, Miracle. He has to know that this is the next tower being taken.
Yeah, they just went 1-2. You're expecting that third tower is going to be falling soon. And now GH has showed up by himself. I'm not sure what sort of soft defending of this tower they're trying to do right now, but it's just costing them more and more heroes. Somebody get in front of that. Oh, okay. Well, GH gets away scot-free, apparently.
They are going to lose a tower. They did lose Miracle for it. They're not getting any sort of trades around the map. None of the tier 1 towers taken by Liquid. And normally what you'd see is Miracle go down towards that bottom lane, take that tier 1 tower. Gambit would be happy to trade that, I think. They'd just say, okay, you take ours, we'll mirror the movement on the map. And instead it's Liquid you know, the map's going to get smaller and smaller like this, especially if Gambit can smoke up and get a ward onto your triangle high ground.
Yeah.
Then it becomes really hard for you to farm, because now this this left side jungle area is going to get double warded, and they can make any sort of movement that they want up into. So now it's just about getting at least one ward right side of the jungle, and then it just becomes impossible for Liquid to do anything without heads up taking fights.
You know, I just realized is that Gambit's lineup probably has arguably the best tier 1 tower taker in the game in Lone Druid. You talked about how little commitment you have to do, how quickly it goes down.
Yeah.
And then one of the best tier 1 tower defenders, in fact, any tower defender right now in Sand King, who just kind of sits in front of one of them in Sandstorm.
Yeah,
But
so
you're right, Liquid take that safe lane tower and Gambit are happy to
Gambit was
oblige.
going to give it to them.
Yeah.
Which is why I was confused that Miracle was up the top without vision. This tier 2 though is a different story. I don't think you trade this out, because you have to know that you're stronger when it comes to the fight.
Wyvern's gonna set up here. Does have that Winner's Curse to start catching some heroes. They're rotating too with the smoke right now. The Queen of Pain as well as the Bane. They are close enough now they can make their initiation. They're to start off with the Winner's Curse. Just hold
nice silence on the Bane.
The Burst Strike, the Yule Scepter, and the silence on the Bane. Oh, he actually goes down here. They're trying to deal with Miracle right now, but because of the sustain of mind control right now, Miracle's able to challenge that Winter Wyvern as well as the Claw, push them back so they can take down the Sand King in the back lines, finish off this tier 2 Gambit. Thought they could go for the defense here, but Liquid were actually well set up.
Without Curse, they're going high ground.
They absolutely are, it seems. The Lone Druid, he's also going high ground right now.
I mean, he's not committing his bear though, and I'd imagine Liquid goes back.
See if they can finish up this tier 3 first. A tier 3 before the 20-minute mark here, that's a huge win.
This is like the most Liquid thing I've ever seen.
Is there going to be any TP onto the shrine? Are they going to try and cut off these heroes at all? Nobody's going to get caught, it seems.
He saw the scream, but Miracle was really quick, and it's the support movement from Liquid. It's being able to catch the Bane while he's coming in over the top. They never ran down the hill, because they knew somebody had to be coming down. They didn't panic when Miracle got Winter's Curse. They had to assume, oh, they'll be coming from the shrine area if anything. They won't just TP one after another on that tier 2. If they make a different sort of movement and they go down onto the low ground to help out, then I think the fight is very easy for Gambit. You sleep one target, you grip the other. Frostbite doesn't cancel channeling anymore, so as long as you make sure that you catch the Earth Spirit with the sleep, you'll get a free Fiend's Grip on any other target. Which is, I think, the assumption that Gambit had, but still up 1k despite the tier 3 tower differential. But that was a very costly error.
Yeah, and that tier 3 going down means that shrines are eventually going to die, which just means more gold for Team Liquid. Eventually that net worth is going to go into the favor of the TI7 champs.
I really like Gambit's movement until that point.
Yeah, it was one of those plays that was just a little sloppy. If you were grouped up as 5, you're not going to lose that engagement. At least not as clearly as that.
They wanted a little bit too much. They wanted to be able to take top tier 2 while also defending. I think you just hard defend that and say that you'll trade as Become a Man and Miracle in the tree line. Now they're taking towers.
One of the beautiful things about Leshrac, he doesn't really need to hit the tower with any of his auto attacks. He just sits there in the trees. Epicenter coming out. He's going to go for the kill into Kuro. Will be able to get him with Throw Strike. Throw away immediately by GH.
He just noped out of there.
I mean, a heavy commitment for a 5 position, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. All you're really getting out of that is gold on AFO. It's bounty runes. Liquid, another team that doesn't really seem to heavily prioritize them. A la Keen.
Yeah. I think they've also got, like, between the Lone Druid and the way he could just pick up ones with Bear, and then on top of that, I think Sand King's probably one of the better heroes to defend or attack bounty rune position.
Yeah, early BKB, by the way, by Matamba Man, correctly realizing it's almost all magic damage.
Yeah, they also have the pipe complete for the Omni Knight as well, so that is back-to-back big team fight items for Team Liquid.
The pipe negates most of the damage that you'll take from both the Radiance and the Sand King ulti, which is why I think he decided to go for the Veil.
Yeah, that's long been the problem with Epicenter, right? It's just one pipe and it feels like it cuts everything out. Lone Druid Radiance is, okay, sidestep there from FNG, still gonna cost him his life here.
And now they're starting to take control of this top area.
Top shrine is under attack.
You gonna TP back, reset things a little bit for themselves, but with that bottom push, Liquid feeling very comfortable to take fights with the BKB that they have on the Troll too.
This triangle of vision that Team Liquid has inside that Radiant jungle, they know exactly where every single member of Gambit is right now. We'll see whether or not they want to try and fight over there. Six to 9, 22 minutes in, there's the pipe now. Team Liquid in the better position right now, we would say, just because they're controlling the Roshan area. But we'll see whether or not they're going to try and take Roshan at any point with their Troll. The smoke up from Gambit now. Queen of Pain. Gonna show maybe a bottom lane or somewhere while the rest of the team creeps on through and is looking to make their invasion. They do have some aggressive vision right now in the dire jungle. They have spotted Kuro, but this smoke, they don't want that kill. They want somebody much bigger. They're gonna have to take what they can get here. Kuro is gonna be spotted. Now they see Mind Control as well. Mind Control is actually gonna be able to save Kuro maybe with that freezing field. Delaying all of this damage, they just can't actually eat through him. And now on the side, they're gonna go for this Winter Wyvern, try and prevent that Winter's Curse. The disengage does manage to get it off though. The damage over time, he may still tick out. Immersion, one last tick and he will fall here. Now the rest of the team, well, they're gonna go for the Lone Druid Bear, pick up 300 gold off of that, and they just wanna fight right next to the Roshan pit. In fact, even better if Afterlife gets caught as well, but Kuro can find him in the trees. So the rest of the team rolls up to the Roshan pit. They know Gambit is not in the position to fight them right now.
It's just a very awkward engagement. You saw that FNG was a little bit too on the low ground. So he kept trying to get closer, but he was in the tree line, so he couldn't really find anybody. And so that lockdown that they're relying on, both their supports just got in such bad positions that it was really impossible for them to help out in the fights. Whereas Liquid, I mean, they just held the high ground. Kuro's gonna get healed up non-stop by Mind Control in the back line.
Afterlife is gonna try and sneak into it. He's gonna be able to get a three-man roast. Yeah, pick up that Aegis, he gets it! He snatches it away from Team Liquid. He will die here once. We'll see whether or not he's going to survive again. The Pop is coming in. He does have Sonic Wave. He can hit almost everyone here. It's 3. There is going to be Immersion sitting on the side. He doesn't have the Winter's Curse, though. They don't really have a whole lot of damage to follow this up. It's just going to go for the Earth Spirit. That's going to be one pickoff. Now the pursuit. A Shadow Strike to slow down the Tubba Man. The Bear, they're going to have to Fuel Scepters that one, as they don't want that Radiance burn on top of them. But Apo committing a little bit more, continuing to poke at Team Liquid as much as possible. There is going to be that sustain, though, for Mind Control. They spot it. Miracle couldn't TP out fast enough. They're going to be able to catch him once again. The Shadow Strike, Mind Control may have the Purification coming up. It's going to heal Miracle a little bit, but now a great Winter's Curse. And they were all going to go for the ground four because they have the Grace. The Self-Fuel Scepter, is he actually going to survive? Apo, he just needs to be able to spot it for a moment. The Shadow Strike doesn't actually land off the Orchid out. One last swing and he gets them. Apo's fully committed though. Kuro, he's trying to get away from Mind Control. Has nothing offensively he can do against that Queen of Pain, so he's got to just get out. But on the man though, they can't afford to lose their parry as well as their mid. Kuro's gonna die to Apo here. What a huge turnaround from Gambit. That all comes off the back of Afterlife, snatching up that Aegis.
That was such a big move by him. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. He read that, he goes in, he makes the decisive play. He says, guys, we need to do something. We need to correct this game. He goes for the big play, rewards himself with kill after kill. They get 4 kills off of that, snatch the Aegis.
Apo played that beautifully as well. The way he never hard committed.
Yes.
Right? The Sonic Wave, the pokes with the Shadow Strikes, just waiting until they were finally low enough to commit, just like they're doing now in the Omni Knight. Mind Control. Control of Purification. Will be able to get back to the tier 4s. Don't overcommit here, especially with Stevie's coming in. They've got the silence on Apo. Yule Scepter into the split or stun. They are going to be able to land. Oh, Yule Scepter. Can he still blink away? He will be okay. There was no jump there from Kuro to be able to grab him with a Frostbite. Apo, though, is still slowed down. But Tubba Man couldn't get an snare of his own. Apo has to hide in the trees, trying TP out, but Tubba Man's going to be able to find him. Brings him down like that mega kill streak as well that he just got.
A little bit too hard of a commitment there, but still.
We're going to see that fight again around that Roshan pit. Such a beautiful burrow strike on 3. And then they're at that point, they're like, kind of have to kill him again.
You see
Apo
Apo
sets up with the 3-man Sonic Wave.
And he was so patient. He just kind of pinged them a little bit. He got a little bit close, so Liquid thought about staying for half a second. and the bear comes in, and they chase him down one after another. He reads the movement of Miracle beautifully. It's GH looking for it. The rest of his team coming to connect. No burrow strike for 7.
Man who's going to find him in the trees almost immediately after like 3 more seconds. Does have a sandstorm. They're going to drop a sentry here, but they don't get to the corner where the Sand King is. You know, it's funny, it's a shame really that we commend Apo for his patience and then we immediately see Gambit overcommit to a kill on mind control that actually loses them so much momentum.
I think part of it is because they understand the nature of their lineup.
Yeah.
They want to take these mid-game fights non-stop. They feel like they're stronger. In theory, they should be, especially if they get a very good winner's curse off. They have a lot of disable with their ultis. Is Miracle immediately going to get that smoke popped. The Hawk going to send the bear in.
Tower is under attack.
Grace is laid out. FNG gets the sleep.
Good start here. Miracle just making a play for the tier 2. Makes the Gambit can definitely commit for this troll, unless the silence can actually stop it. In from GH, that caused a lot of disruption. The BK being activated from Matumba Man, trying to go for the Sand King, locks him down. On the side, GH committing for that lone druid, but gets himself stuck up on the cliff for now. Now rolls down, trying to catch Apo. Apo stuck inside the trees right now, going for the blink. Down to the low ground, gets away from that splitter just in time. The Hawk and FMG thinking about going back in, especially with Afterlife committing his buyback here. They don't just want GH, they wanted more off of that. But it looks like this Earth Spirit may be all they can get. Maybe they're going to jump back in here as they've actually lost their Bane. As FMG fully committed, but now Immersion's a little bit too far forward. He's to get caught by the Fuel Step. They do get the Sonic Wave out on 2 with the first strike on 2 as well. That's almost blowing up Miracle. They need to finish him off now, but he does manage to get the save from Mind Control. No physical damage going to pierce him just now, but they do have plenty of magic damage that's eventually going to run him down. So both him and the troll are going to die again. Looks like he'll be able to get 300 gold off of that bear, but a great buyback there from Afterlife. And again, Gambit playing the spacing game very well.
And part of that too was that Miracle shows himself on the far left taking the tower, and the rest of the team didn't really get the memo. Being a little bit too split up at this point in the game, you have to know that Gambit's going to be together as 5. And fighting in that shrine area is so scary. People will buy back for that engagement, especially if you can grab them 1 by 1 like that.
Yeah,
and this is going to be Rax.
Absolutely. Team Liquid have no buybacks.
They learned their lesson.
Chill.
They go back, even with Miracle still on the deck for 30. They say, we don't want to get into one of those scrappy fights where they make us last a little bit too long.
I mean, you're trying to take. Yeah, no one's at ranged barracks compared to a shrine.
Oh, that epicenter, by the way.
Yeah.
That's twice now that I feel like he saved the game.
Absolutely. Afterlife is doing as much as he can to carry Gambit through this first game against a top opponent in Team Liquid.
If Liquid takes that Aegis, they march down mid, they get that tier 2, they get the tier 2 top, then they'll just choke you out for the rest of the game. They'll get a ward onto your left side high ground. You can't really leave the base at that point unless you go for all-in smokes. And you'll most likely take an engagement right in front of your base. And if you lose that, that's sort of just the game, because Troll will take your towers very quickly, so will Lesh. But going for that heads-up play, seeing the risk-reward is well worth it for him.
Yeah, and he's well rewarded now. He just picked up Fuel Scepter, so that's just one more kiting mechanism, something that he can use against the Fuel Split Earth combo of Miracle, something to be able to kite Matumba Man around a little bit more, and just allow him to play that in and out game that Sand King and Queen of Pain want to do pretty much the entirety of a team fight. It's just kind of poke at you, get a little damage here, then back out, do it again once their cooldowns are up. Team Liquid, it looks like they may be going for some sort of smoke play here while just hanging out as the 30-minute bounty runes are going to be taken by Matumba Man and Miracle.
For Liquid, I do think they fought that very smart overall. Because I think they're understanding how they have to win. You sort of just leave Queen of Pain alone, because it's just a little bit too hard to kill her at this point. So the easier thing to do is get rid of the control on the side of Gambit. Ignore the Lone Druid, ignore the Queen of Pain. Get rid of the Bane as fast as possible, because it's so easy to kill at this point. Get rid of the Sand King. He represents all their back and forth stun.
Does manage to roll away before that smoke can actually connect.
He's telling his team to back up. Both teams, very clear ideas how to win the team fights.
4,000 net worth lead for Gambit. Got the melee barracks at mid as well. Look at that, another Yule Scepter being queued up for Immersion, who already has Link Ether Lens. So this is a team fight monster. Anybody's next to that troll, they get caught by the winner's curse, they're dead.
What they're relying on is the lack of stun, hard stun from Liquid. So when the troll pops his BKB, you can just reset yourself. And it's all about playing around the fact that the troll will eventually just have a 5-second BKB, take turns with the Yules, forces away, reset the fight for yourself, get a winner's curse on him.
Which is where Miracle's now going to get the big team fight item, trying to commit for that BKB after his Yules, Boots of Travel, and Bloodstone.
He needs one, because Mind Control's job right now is way too hard.
He's got to play kind of in the back line, but close enough where he can hit you with Heavenly Graces and Purification.
But the downside of that too is that you see they have to sort of stick together, which means you know, you're going to get the freest epicenter.
Get the word on the high ground, but they're going to get caught in the process, and they know what was happening there. Immersion, well, he's got a blink dagger. Fine. Good catch by Gambit.
Still a game that Liquid can easily win. It did take the buyback from Gambit for them to equalize there.
Big difference there between our two mids. 8 kills for Avo, only 4 for Miracle.
Overall hero damage almost double for this Queen of Pain too.
Just gonna chill it out right now, I guess, for Team Liquid. Are they happy with that? They're okay with just pushing this game later and later, right? Because they do have the troll.
Dire's middle
Yeah, I think so.
barracks are under attack.
Gambit, meanwhile, if they find a pick off naturally, take it, and they may have just found one. Miracle, FNG is going to get himself some distance here, trying to go for a Fiend's Grip positioning, but that's where Mind Control is going to come in with a Heavenly Grace if necessary. So he gives it onto Miracle right now, and immediately pops his BKB, trying to go for the Winter Wyvern, just like they did last time. Take away that team fight hero. Don't let him cast the Winter's Curse, and they do not. A good Sonic Wave goes out, but Matama Man instantly pops his ultimate, trying to get the lockdown onto Atlu, who still has his BKB up, so he's going to be good for now. Does manage to get the blink away. The 2 supports dead on the side of Gambit. No longer having that control means Gambit has to try and get out. GH managed to root out the Sand King here. Very important. Managed to get him with a Frostbite as well. Burst him down with a Crystal Nova.
That was such a weird half commitment from the side of Gambit.
Yeah.
It was like, once your supports are that far in, it's do or die at that point for them. They're not getting out of that.
Team Liquid didn't really show any weakness in that setup. The way Mind Control positioned himself like so far up there,
yeah,
where he could have saved Miracle at any time.
Once again, it's about letting GH get on top of the supports,
yeah,
and ignore the cores on the side of Gambit. You're not killing them for now, and that's perfectly okay. You're getting rid of the control factor on the side of Gambit. They have no follow-up. You're going to win the fight that way.
Well, you said Mind Control's job needs to get easier. The BKB on Miracle helps. Now he's got a Blink Dagger, so his positioning can be a lot better. In these fights, he won't get caught. Roll in from GH just to make sure that Afterlife couldn't grab a second Aegis away from Team Liquid.
Again, as this game progresses in this direction, and as time goes on, Liquid is going to feel better and better. It's going to get harder to burst down these heroes.
You know, it's funny, Gambit made one of like the bigger no-nos of like they were controlling the map, they kind of had the positioning there, and they took a team fight with Roshan. You know, that just means that losing team fight, Team Liquid really take that Aegis. And now it's going to be Liquid who have the control.
When they went for the sleep on Miracle, I think Gambit was anticipating everybody to come.
Yeah.
That was, I believe, their idea. Like, oh, everyone will show up, then it'll be really easy for FNG to make its decision, and all of a sudden your Sand King has a very free ulti. But everyone just hid in that tree line the entire time.
Yeah,
they were so patient about it. So they were like, go ahead, grip him. You know that the Earth Spirit roll's coming. And once FNG kind of hemmed and hawed, he's like,
I think maybe Gambit expected like to see heroes of Team Liquid running out of their base.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, just like, oh, we gotta save Miracle, go. But they're actually hidden up in that tree area that they're just like, they're gonna show up. We're gonna jump on that back line.
That was so smart of them. Because there's no other reason FNG makes that play.
Yeah.
You saw him like run forward, and then he sort of considered it, and he's like, this is a trap.
Yeah.
And I think at some point he did realize, like, oh, I actually need to get out of here. This is not the fight for me.
Big item pickup, the Satanic now for the Troll. Do almost have a Shivas for the Queen of Pain, which will significantly help her out against physical damage. But look at this, Liquid's just making the fast play here in Nevada. Seeing if they can get Gambit while they're out of position. And they've already taken that range barracks. The Hawk is finally here with his bear, but the melee barracks is in half with the double siege wagons banging on it. This is not something Gambit can defend so easily. They are going to pop the glyph here, buy themselves a moment.
King right now on the catapults. Atmos telling his team, don't just let this down for free as they get the stun.
Trying to poke him on top of man as best they can. He does have a cheese plus they satanic, so he's not so easy to bring down. They just poke and back up. Using that magic immunity, they're going to lose a bear here. They do manage to get a Fiend's Grip on a GH who brought his fresh BKB, but doesn't help him against that all that physical damage and that hold. Now they're going to be able to grab Miracle here. He does have the Aegis. Once again, Gambit cannot overcommit. Managed to get a BKB. Throw a Shrine onto him as well. That's going to be the first life. They got to be careful of Matamba Man, though. That fear being canceled out by the battle trance. He sticks on some of these heroes, but doesn't get the ensnare. Now a great winner's curse. Setting up these three heroes, doing some of the damage. Look at Apple. No, back. He found mind control. He gets the silence, but the Lotus directly by some time. A two-man throw strike epicenter. That finishes off Kuro. Now they get the sleep on the mind control. They're just trying to make sure he can't get off any of that sustain. But because of the Guardian Angel, it's a little bit slow to be able to bring down Matamba Man, but they can just keep on chasing. Since Miracle has given up on this engagement, TP'd home, they know they've got these heroes dead to rights. That is 4 dead on the side of Team Liquid.
And so well done by Apo. He skips ahead of everybody. He pushes them closer to the rest of his team. Distracts them just long enough for the Sand King to come over the top with the ulti, ending any sort of chances that Liquid has in that team fight. The amount of Yules that they have too just makes these fights so complicated for this troll.
He Orchids Mind Control Lotus Swords, FNG comes in and sleeps up Mind Control. Even if he didn't stop the Guardian Angel, it's just a good show of their priorities.
Yeah, and they're going to want to force some buybacks here as Sand King is invis up right now. The rest of his team going to come through.
Nice little pick up on GH. He does have the BKB though, so without the Fiend's Grip, he will be able to roll away to the safety of his fountain. Now Miracle trying to take advantage of the fact that Gambit jumped a little far forwards here and will be able to protect their top lane of barracks there just because the bear should be on cooldown for a while. They know they killed at bottom.
That'll end the push for now. What a back and forth game.
19 to 18. Very even net worth, and I would guess pretty even win probability as well.
Yeah, very slightly in favor of Gambit. Who would have thought? Liquid, fresh off their second place at the major. Very dominant team. They have yet to win an ESL.
Gambit showing that they're certainly no slouches.
I mean, nobody is here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's been talking about how this tournament is set up. It has one of the best pool of teams, one of the strongest pools.
The thing about it is I'm treating Gambit like an underdog. Is anybody really like an underdog here, especially after the group stage? All just strong teams across the board.
Yeah. Feels like every matchup, like no matchup is worse than like 60-40.
Yeah. And we're seeing that right now as this game's still very even.
Yeah.
We see how both teams can win team fights. I think part of that was that GH has to realize like it's very important for him to stay alive.
Yeah.
He is the majority of the control factor for his team. When he commits hard, you saw that FNG just pops the Fiend's Grip in him, and it wins them the fight.
This is an insane amount of status resistance that they're getting. Because he's going back for SNY on the troll. He already has Satanic. Then on top of that, he's got Heavenly Grace. It's not additive, but I would guess it's somewhere around 75%, maybe 80, 85.
Yeah, they're split up a little bit here, but they don't want to really broach onto that high ground. It's not super easy for them.
They're going to be able to get the silence on the Queen of Pain, trying to force out that BKB. It's going to be used. They're going to go for FNG here. GH committing for that 5 position, as it is all important to be able to protect Matamba Man against that Apple.
1 second.
No longer has his BKB, but no net from Matamba Man. They're going to back up, just go for this tier 2. 70 seconds. Got to be careful there, Immersion. Cannot afford to get picked off, especially since they're already missing one support.
And nice pick off from them is Liquid. They're going to go for it again.
Yeah.
Bane doesn't have the buyback. They're well aware of this. The Fiend's Grip, pretty crucial to this team fight. And there's no BKB on the Queen of Pain.
It is hard to push into this high ground, though, with the Sandstorm plus Splinter Blast spam.
They really want to do it. No BKB on Queen of Pain, no Bane. The situation doesn't get that much better.
They just keep on shadow striking him and as well. They give him the Lotus Sword to remove some of that damage. They found the bear. They really want that bear kill. But they pull the brakes down. The epicenter jumping with a sonic wave over the top. A big hit on top of man. He's dead. Kuro gets the freezing field up, and now he's going to fall as well. And the rest of Liquid, oh, they really realize that now they're just getting caught one by one. He managed to get the root onto GH, take it away. The Bear trying to get another roll forward, but an important kill on Miracle right now. They are going to be able to lock him down with a Burrow Strike. Stay on top of all Miracle can hope for is getting a kill on Apple. Almost gets his Dual Scepter going down, trying to finish off one of these heroes, but gets neither. A massive win for Gambit as once again they hold on the high ground.
The bait on the Bear.
Sick with the cold embrace.
Oh my.
Afterlife once again finding the clutch initiations. Now they can force buybacks.
I mean, these are some of the better SKOs that you really can't ask him for more at this point.
No.
He has done his job and more. They were so decisive on going for the Bear. The Hawk's probably telling his team, we have a second one. Just go for it. They all swarm in. Liquid not prepared whatsoever. Afo, the amount of like 4-man ultis he's gone off in these team fights, playing it without the BKB too. Miracle bought back, and now
they saw the Miracle buyback, and they just TP away, play a little bit of farm game. They don't want to get over aggressive. We're going to see that fight again. Is that bait on the Bear, setting up that epicenter into that Sonic Wave, hitting 3, hitting Matumba Man. All important there. Matumba Man did have his ultimate. Just didn't expect that fast burst damage.
and you see right there, he knows he messed up.
Yeah. There's no question the battle trend should have gone down there.
And maybe they do get the turnaround as a result of that.
Yeah.
There is no BKB on the Queen of Pain, and they need this troll to frontline. Otherwise, Miracle, and he dies so quickly. He just gets chased and kited around. He doesn't do so much damage at this point that he deters them from just getting run down by 4.
$5,000 net worth lead for Gambit, but we're just pretty much playing for Roshan at this point.
Yes, the game is still incredibly even as Roche number 3. Which one is it?
Yeah, we're going to see the Aghanim Scepter or the...
Oh, that's huge on a lot of heroes.
Yeah. Queen of Pain and Sand King are my first go-tos.
I think Quad might be
Gambit.
my number 1.
Yeah, the Sonic Wave has been so massive.
And then for Liquid, I mean, Guardian Angel Global is pretty sick.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. There's an obvious Leshrac upgrade there.
Give it to the troll. I saw some guy post saying he lost the game because of it.
Oh, because you don't get the self-cleanse?
Yeah, you pop it onto Hawk and he just runs at you like this real hero.
Damn, we're gonna go for the smoke up. Any pick off at this point could be enough for them to be able to take a Roshan, or at least is going to be enough to force another buyback out of Liquid.
I think this game is still very 50-50. If Liquid wins this fight, takes Roche and the cheese, then I think the game once again swings in their favor. And Gambit is well aware of that.
You can kind of, like, you can half commit with the Bear, right? Just kind of let Lone Druid see if he can solo take Roshan or something.
The problem is, your position is just going to be a little bit odd as FNG. He
Coming from behind the long-range Fiend Script onto GH. A great pickup. That's probably going to be an immediate buyback from him because he knows, but that's also the gem that he drops. So that's a lot worse than I thought. He immediately buys back because they're not just going to give up this Roshan for free.
Yeah, they know that the only thing that matters at this point is this Roche. Everything else is semi-irrelevant as Afo hiding in the pit. Miracle, his smoke's going to break. He knows that somebody is in there. Afo pinging for the high ground right now. Afterlife continues to hide.
Shiva's holding up GH a second time. He does manage to get out the BKB. The Sonic Wave doesn't finish him off. He does manage to get away. Is Apple going to pursue with the blink? He's going to get him, and one big crit comes out. Apple gets that kill. Matumba Man being kited around right now. Managed to get a BKB before the Bro Strike. Afterlife's in trouble, but he managed to get a 4-staff away. Matumba Man wants to be able to lock down one of these heroes. He's been struggling for so long now. Gets slept up. The Bear is dealing with him as well. And soon there's going to be Apple to slow him down with the Shadow Strike. Sees him for a moment. Dual Scepter going out. They're just trying to get a little bit of distance, slow him down with the Shivas, but he's a bit too fast, so they back up, going for that Roshan. That Roche pit with 50 seconds on the clock for GH. I'm not sure if Team Liquid can contest anymore.
And GH with the BKB, thought he was perfectly fine playing on that side of the map. Liquid. Very nice BKB though from Matumba Man.
Yeah. It definitely saved his life.
Yes.
If he got hit by the Burrow Strike, he was dead as well. And that might have just been the game for
And
Team
Afterlife
Liquid.
is waiting for so long on that too.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter as Gambit is going to take this all-important Roche.
we are going to give the we're going to give the Aggro Scepter to the Sand King, so we're going to get that very long Burrow Strike.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The reset on the fight.
I mean, again, it just plays into what they've been sort of doing, these in and out. The longer your Burrow Strike is, the better an escape mechanism as well as an initiation tool it is. Look at that, a blink sight device.
That is
for
so
immersion.
harm.
That is massive.
That is a soft 6 slot.
Who is this Winter Wyvern? He's almost even with the Sand King in net worth and way ahead of Mind Control's Omni Knight.
And with the buyback from GH, look at his net worth just absolutely plummet.
Gambit, as long as they don't make any silly moves at this point, they've got full control of the game and they're going to be able to set the pace and go for another high ground push against Team Liquid. And they found the pickoff. It's going to be on Kuro. Easy kill. A fine position with buyback, though. It's not going to allow Gambit to immediately run up high ground and take another lane of barracks, but...
I mean, with the Fear Talent on the Queen of Pain, that just adds so much control to their team.
Yeah.
And he got there relatively quickly. You see Matama Man himself, not even 25. And Aphos had it for quite some time as Gambit. They're going to poke here. See what they can force.
See if they can force that buyback out. They do really need that buy because they need the Lotus on him. Appo taking a bit of damage here. Miracle with the Yield Scepter is going to be Burrow struck up. Ainsgrip as well. They do manage to get the Divine Grace, and now they're going to push forward with Matama Man trying to get the Appo. Once again, they will be able to take that first life. They do have the Winner's Curse. It pulls in the Troll, and he starts laying some damage into GH. Now the Burrow Strike follow-up. GH does manage to get up to BKB. Miracle in the back line. His BKB is activated. Fortunately, Appo survives just a little bit longer, but now his BKB is down. He's been ensnared up. Self-fueled. Coleman Brace as well. They have him inside of the freezing field. Oh, he's so much bad, and he finally dies. Gambit tried to save their Queen of Pain, but now they've got to just get out at this point in Mind Control. He sees the opportunity, but up and center! Coming in with the Burrow Strike, takes out the back line. The Sandstorm is almost enough to finish off Mind Control as well. Miracle on a sliver of HP. The Queen of Pain calls Zappo. He knows he can finish off at least one of these heroes with the Bloodlord onto this troll, but he's healing too much. He's healing too much. They have to stop. The status resistance allows that they can't actually stun him. The Yield Scepter throwing him in the air, gives him a little bit of time. Just need to kite Matama Man. Don't let the Hawk die here. Again, the fear goes out. There's going to be a Glimmer Cape. They're doing so good at just kiting Matama Man around and around and around. Mind Control. He tries to come forward to be able to save Matama Man a little bit more time. Afterlife and Immersion just on a sliver of HP. Mind Control does go down. He buys back almost immediately. Matama Man, Burrow struck up. Finally, he goes down. He buys back. It's only him in Mind Control. The duo against the 5 of Gambit.
What a kite job from Gambit. Nobody going down there.
Slept up. Apple thought he was actually going to TP away. They're scared of this duo. They feel they actually can't take it, especially with GH coming back. And another great Winner's Curse. Immersion just keeps lining up, and it's enough to kill Mind Control. Matama Man just slayed his teammate, and now he's going to get kited around once again. GH, he has to build this out. He has to stop him. He's going to get it. He gets the ult. Now the BKB activated. Matama Man's going to go for the kill. He's going to be able to find GH to self-slay. That's going to buy him some time after the BKB. The fear away of Matama Man trying to finish up his hero. He's just trying to life steal off of anybody he can stay alive. Potentially Ammo. So low blinks away. Immersion slowed down, trying to get him with the roll and misses. GH is unable to finish up that kill. Now Yield Scepter. Immersion. He doesn't care about his own life. He only wants to kill on GH right now to be able to sell him Afterlife as well as Apple get this control of the Embassy. Dies. He's dead. Kuro's back up. Miracle's back up. Liquid can still hold this potentially against the 4.
And during this time, they've also lost their tier 4 towers. So the base is wide open, but so is Liquid.
Oh,
that's a
Jesus.
Gambit, the fight's been going on for so long that nobody's dealt with this bottom lane. They've got to be careful.
Whoa, they actually back up to defend, but at the same time, potentially going for a play here on a Miracle.
Queen of Pain coming
back in onto the Bear. The Burrow Strike, controlling him on Matama Man. Managed to get the silence on him as well. Kuro needs that Lotus from the Sonic Wave. They finish off Matama Man just like that. The Miracle, he's trying to go for it, but the Bear is focusing on the throne right now. They have the Glut. Apple on one side, Bear on the other. Tag teaming this throne, and it will die. There is no way Liquid can stop this at this point. Unbelievable Gambit. Kite the hell out of Liquid. They completely outclassed them in that regard in these team fights and take game 1 against the TI7 champs.
Good lord, that Sand King.
Unbelievable. Appo and Afterlife, Immersion. That trio, amazing team fight. Amazing team fighting out of them.
The decision to go for the Roshan, the steal, saves that game for them.
Oh, yeah.
And then that team fight ending epicenter. I mean, how many of them do we
I was
have?
about to say, which one are you talking about? There was so many of them. Incredible performance by Gambit in this first game. Fortunately, we have a full series on our hands, and we're going to see so much more from this. You know, it's just crazy to talk about a Team Liquid. You know, they're such a great team, and to watch Gambit